Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, Tina and I are canning our long cut green beans and yellow wax beans. If you hang on till after the break, I'll show you how we did it.
Check it out.
Alright guys, in our last video, you saw us harvest some of our green beans and yellow wax beans, and it turned out they were nice and straight and long, which means we get to can our beans as long cut beans, and that's not something we get to do very often, or we don't get to do very many, but we got to this time. So we're going to take you inside and show you how we do it. Alright guys, we're getting ready to start on these beans, and the first thing is that we have to make sure that the beans are well inspected by the cats, but we're going to can these beans full length. So what we'll do is we'll stick a ruler in the wide mouth pint jar there. We come up with 4.5 inches from the bottom to the lip. We'll leave an inch of head space, so we're going to cut the beans at what, 3.5 inches, and that'll give us our length. We'll mark that. We've got a permanent marker back here on the table. We'll mark that on our cutting boards, and then we'll get to cutting as many of the beans as we can to that length, and the rest of them will be cut to regular canning length. We won't throw any of them away, but we'll just go ahead and give ourselves some marks here on the cutting boards, and that's how we'll get our full length beans. Alright guys, we're getting down through these beans, starting to be able to see the bottom of the barrel there, but I thought I'd bring you in here and show you. Tina's lining them up on her mark, then she'll cut them, and whatever is left, if we have enough to make a small bean out of, we'll do that. We're trying to get as many of the long beans together as we can get, and we'll can them stacked like cordwood in the jars. But I'll show you. There's the short beans, there's the long beans, there's the scrap beans, and there's the bean inspector. But we'll bring you guys back. We're going to get these finished cut, and then we're going to get them over to wash them, and then we'll start canning them up. Alright guys, we've got the beans all cut. There's the scrap bowl. We got a couple of cutting stations, but there's going to be our long beans, and there's the short beans. But we'll go ahead and get these washed up, and then we'll start loading them in jars, and we'll show you what we're doing there. Alright guys, we're starting the washing process, but they'll go for a soak over there on the other side of the sink. Then they'll go through a quick rinse and a toss. Then they'll come over here onto a sheet lined with paper, and that'll let them drain just a little bit. And then we'll swing over here, and we got a station set up where we'll set the tray, and then we'll start packing up the jars. But we're going to load them in the jars standing up like pencils. I'll show you that when we get to it, but that's kind of the process we're following along. We'll just go right from washing to a quick rinse, over to the tray, over to the jars. Alright guys, we've got the majority of them packed up here. Just wanted to give you a quick look at what they look like inside the jars. Look down over the tops. But we got 16, 20. We got 20. So, and since we're going to have to run a second load, we're going to go ahead and what few beans we have left, it's not enough to make another jar. We'll cut those, put them with the other cut beans, and we'll make sure we have enough jars to fill 2 loads. So if we got to run 2, we'd rather run them full. So we were planning on freezing the little cut beans, but if we got room in the canner, then we'll can them and they'll last even longer. Alright guys, looks like we're going to end up with 2 full canner loads. We got the 16 sets of long beans there in the back. That'll be 1 load. We got 4 more long beans over there on the right. And we'll put those with the 12 cut beans here. And we should have 2 full canner loads. So next step will be to hit each of them with half a teaspoon of salt, and then we'll get some water boiling, and then we'll get them over to the canner. Alright guys, we're just going to jump in here. Tina's getting started canning up these beans, but we got some a mix of regular and wide mouth to do. So we got 8 of each, and they're slightly different in height. So we're going to do the regulars on the bottom, and then we're going to stack them and put the wide mouths on top. But we'll run them through the canner here. We'll get them all done up. We'll run them through the canner at 10 pounds of pressure for 20 minutes. Is how long they cook. So we'll come back in a little bit and talk about that, but just want to show you we're getting started, getting a load ready to go, and we got 2 loads to do. So we'll just bring you back when we get a little closer. Alright guys, we're all done with the canning. We've got them all out of the canner. I thought I'd bring you in and give you a look at the final product here. But we got let's see, we got 20 wide mouth pints of the finger beans, or steak beans, or whatever you want to call them. They're just cut to length beans. But we got 20 of those. We got 8 pints of regular mouth cut beans. And then we got 4 pints of wide mouth cut beans. So, pretty good haul. That's our harvest you saw us pick the other day. But I wanted to bring you in and show you what they look like when they were done. That'll about do it. I'll be back in a minute to talk to you guys. Alright guys, that's about going to wrap it up for today's video. We hope that you enjoyed it. That's how we can our long, fancy steak beans, finger beans, you call them whatever you want. We eat them with our fingers and we eat them with steak. So we've named them all different kinds of things, but they're just long cut beans. But if you like the video, we hope you'll give it a thumbs up and leave us a comment down below. Tell us if there's anything different that you do with your beans or a new twist. We'd always like to learn something new. But if you like the content here on the channel, we hope you'll subscribe. Down there next to the subscribe button is a bell. If you'll ring that bell, that'll send you notifications whenever we release new videos, and that's a great way to keep up with the channel. We're going to flash up a few other video links up above. We hope you'll check those out. They'll just appear while I'm talking, and you can always come back to find them. But we're glad to have you here on the homestead. We had a great time today. We'll catch you in the next one.